Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you being here today, and then I'm happy to lead you. Last week, we said that digital literacy encompasses the skills required to use technology safely, effectively, and responsibly. We continue to say that as technology continues to become more and more inherent in our daily lives, the need to learn digital literacy skills is becoming more and more apparent. Whether we are conscious of it or not, most of us engage in digital systems multiple times in a day. For instance, we all possess cell phones and we use them to communicate. In our homes too, majority of us have television sets. Some of us use doorbells. We do online shopping and many more. And all these requires some sort of digital literacy skills. So as I said, I am very happy that you have chosen, among all other things, to be here today to learn and improve upon your digital literacy skills. And trust me, by the end of this session, you should be able to explain what digital literacy is. You should be able to enumerate the benefits of digital literacy, have a clear understanding of what digital skills one needs to have in this modern era. And then you should also be able to keep your professional certificates and documents safe and easily accessible anywhere, anytime. Most of us have been hearing digital this, digital that. We have been saying digital literacy, digital whatever. Now, when we say digital, what at all does it mean to say digital? In my terms, digital refers to technology ranging from computers to the internet to technological objects and programs such as cell phones, smart home systems, etc. And literacy in this context refers to the ability to use this technology and to use it well. Now, if we have defined these two words, what then does it mean when we put them together to become digital literacy? Well, digital literacy is an individual's ability to find, evaluate, and communicate information by utilizing typing or digital media platforms. It is a combination of both technical and cognitive abilities in using information and communication technologies to create, evaluate, and share information. In other words, it means having the skills you need to live, learn, and work in a society where communication and access to information is increasingly through digital technologies such as mobile devices, internet platforms, and social media. To be digital literate is a necessity and compulsion if you wish to survive in this excessively digital world. Being digitally literate refers to one's ability to interact with technology and understand current digital advancements. Additionally, one should be able to recognize and comprehend how the digital world can be used creatively to satisfy the needs and difficulties we encounter in life. Digital literacy skills involve understanding the value of protecting one's online data and the hazards of copyright and plagiarism, along with knowing how to obtain information online and being able to utilize the tools available. Digital literacy has been a boon to every age group, right from adults to children. You see, the concept of e-learning, virtual learning, e-commerce, communication, and its creative use in terms of technology has impacted the lives of all individuals in general. So how can we improve our abilities in digital literacy? Well, the best strategy to increase your digital literacy is to practice utilizing digital tools, programs, and applications as frequently as you can while experimenting with new approaches and tasks. Second, consider applying technology in your work and career, and moreover, always be cautious of online safety and how you can protect your data from getting hacked. Finally, please take part in online courses just as you are doing now. You see, regardless of your age group, it is expected in many places of employment that employees have digital skills, and it is also expected in schools, especially the students of today need to acquire digital literacy as every career requires digital skills of some kind. So, you see, digital literacy is part of the society now and it has come to stay. And so we need to embrace it. Now, there are some benefits that comes along with having digital literacy skills. So what are they? Digital literacy skills are essential for participating in the modern economy. You see, in today's job market, I have said this already, almost every profession requires digital skills, from basic computer skills to more advanced skills like programming and data analysis. So, digital literacy training encourages job satisfaction and employee engagement. Providing educational training on digital literacy can bring several advantages to businesses, including increased job satisfaction and employee engagement. With new technological tools constantly emerging, incorporating new skills will allow employees to reach their goals more quickly and achieve outstanding results. A study conducted in April 2018 by Oracle and research firm Future Workplace titled AI at Work led to some surprising findings, and among them were that 36% of managers in 10 countries believed that artificial intelligence would improve their skills, while 20% thought it would improve their relationships in the workplace. Also, 64% of people trust a robot more than their manager or their fellow human. You see, people have more trust in robots than their fellow humans. According to the second annual AI at Work study conducted by Oracle and Future Workplace, that's a research firm preparing leaders for disruptions in recruiting, development, and employee engagement. So the study of 8,370 employees, which included managers and HR leaders across 10 countries, found that AI has changed the relationship between people and technology at work. These statistics highlight the importance of digital literacy training in today's workplace. Secondly, digital literacy promotes better money management skills. You see, before, we used to travel here and there to transact business, but now we can stay in the comfort of our rooms and do the same thing. Whether we want to withdraw money from the bank or buy things, we can do that while in the comfort of our homes by using our smart devices. You can transfer money from your bank account onto your phone. Likewise, you can move money from your phone into your bank account. You can purchase items online which you would have had to pay lorry fare to go and buy at the shop nearby. But now, with the skills we have in digital literacy, we are able to stay in our home and do all those things. We are able to stay in our home today and have this course because of the digital literacy skills that we have. Other than that, we would have had to gather at one place, risk our lives to travel, pay huge sums of money as transportation. We would have had to buy food, buy water, buy all those things. But now with the digital literacy skills that we have, now we are all in our homes. I am in my home, you are in yours. Executive director is also in his home, but we are all learning together now, all because of the digital literacy skills that we have. So you see that digital literacy has it has helped us to save some money, which we can use to do other things. And you can also bear with me that digital literacy skills put some money in our pockets. Also, it has reduced the unemployment rate. Some people use their digital literacy skills as their full-time job. You see people are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, they are cashing out big time. We'll come to that on my next presentation. So digital literacy is very important, and everyone need to struggle to have digital literacy skills because it has come to stay and it plays a very important role in today's modern world. Now, gone are the days when movie producers used to carry around what do they call it? Is it CDs or cassettes? Doing "Don't Call Me," "Excuse Me," don't call me, we should come and buy new movies are out. Now they no longer do that. They just upload the movie on YouTube. Then we will buy data and go and watch. That data we use to watch will then put money in their pocket. So you see how simple it is. They stay within the comfort of their homes and then they are cashing out. So that is how important digital literacy skills is. And the third is that digital literacy skills enable us to have efficient communication. Digital literacy improves communication between employees and departments. So those of you that have your own businesses, try as much as possible to ensure that your employees are digitally literate. You see, it allows employees to communicate with each other through various platforms such as email, instant messaging, video conferencing, and social media. So now we no longer have to be sending letters, memos, going to the post office. No, all that are things of the past, though some people still engage in it. But there are other means that we can now use to communicate instead of going to the BBC, born before computer, right? Going to those days. So that is it. And then the fourth point is that digital literacy skills enhances problem solving. Now we have access to the internet where we can find answers to a lot of questions. We can research about problems that are emerging in our lives and we can find solutions to them. So having digital literacy skills enables you to be able to find solution for problems. And then the fifth benefit is that it increases efficiency. Digital tools such as automation, online collaboration platforms, and project management software can increase efficiency in the workplace by reducing manual tasks and streamlining workflows. Digital literacy can help employees achieve their goals more quickly. And it also enhances our time management skills. You see, digital literacy can help employees manage their time more effectively by using tools like calendars, scheduling apps, and to-do lists. Employees can prioritize their tasks and meet deadlines more efficiently. Also, having digital literacy skills enable us to protect our online security. Digital literacy skills help individuals understand the importance of securing their online information and the potential risk of cyber attacks. It enables us to use tools such as firewalls, antivirus software, and two-factor authentication to secure our digital assets. So one may ask, if that is the case, what then are some of the digital literacy skills that I need to have? Well, digital literacy skills can be grouped into three categories. We have the consuming skills, creating skills, and communicating skills. The consuming skills, for example, includes knowing how to search for information on the internet, validating sources, and using the internet for shopping or streaming. And as part of that, we need to know how to search for information online. And to be able to search for information online, we need to make use of what we call search engines. Search engines are the most common and widely used method for searching for information on the web. They are software systems that find web pages that match a web search. They search the World Wide Web in a systematic way for particular information specified in a textual web search query. The search results are generally presented to the user in a line of results, often referred to as search engine results pages. In simple terms, search engines are web-based tools that allows users to quickly search for information on the internet. Please take a look at the examples of search engines. So these are the examples of search engines. We have Google, Bing, Yahoo, Yandex, Ask.com, Baidu, and many others. Now, one may ask that if I need to use a search engine to search for information on the internet, what then is a browser and what is it used for? Because we always hear people saying, I'm browsing, I'm doing this. Even I can say, some of us, we also say that I'm browsing. So what does it mean? A browser or a web browser is an application software that allows users to access information and view web pages. To browse the internet, you need a computer or mobile device that is connected to the internet and that has a web browser. The more widely used browsers for personal computers and internet are Internet Explorer, which was developed by Microsoft Corporation USA, and it's available only for Windows operating systems and comes pre-installed. We also have Chrome, developed by Google Incorporation USA. It has to be downloaded and installed. And then Firefox, developed by Mozilla Foundation USA. It also has to be downloaded from Play Store and installed. And then Safari by Apple Incorporation USA. It comes pre-installed on Apple computers, iPads, and iPods. Then Opera software. It also has to be downloaded and installed on your phone or device. So what are the differences between a browser and search engine? Well, a browser is programmed to browse a web page, while a search engine is programmed to search for a web page. Secondly, a web browser can exist without a search engine, but search engine needs a web browser to be able to display its results. Also, web browser is the basic element in accessing the internet, whereas search engine is to simply search for keywords in a search engine's database. I said earlier that the browser retrieves and displays a starting web page, sometimes called the browser's home page. So a home page refers to the first page that a website displays, and this is how it looks like. So the home page looks like this, excluding these things here. Good. So this is the address bar. This is at the address bar. So if you want to search for information online, so you open the browser. The browser displays the home page to you. And then if you know specifically the URL of the particular website that you are going to search for the information, for instance, if you are visiting Foundation for Global Life Changes website to register for some of our courses, this is the URL. So if you already know it, you do not need to come to the search bar again. You just put the URL here and it will take you to, and click enter, and it will take you to Foundation for Global Life Changes website. So that's it, the address bar. So you use it only when you know specifically where you are going. And this is the search bar. You use it when you do not know the address of where you are going and you are searching for general information to be displayed for you to now make your choice. So that is where you use the search bar. And this is how it looks like. Now, why is it important to validate the sources of information? As I said, as part of the consuming skills. After being able to search for information online, you need to be able to validate it to be sure that the information that you are consuming is accurate and reliable. So why is that important? You see, you should always critically evaluate a source to test its credibility and accuracy before using it in order to be sure you are supporting your argument with correct and credible information. So how do you do that? Well, here is a guide to evaluating sources. That's the CRAP test. The CRAP test is a list of questions to help you evaluate the information you find. Now, C stands for currency, the timeliness of the information. Please take a look at it. You can zoom it if it looks smaller on your screen. C stands for currency. That's the timeliness of the information. When was the information published or posted? Was it revised? Has it been updated ever? Does your topic require current information or will older sources work as well? And then R stands for relevant. Does the information relate to your topic or answer your question? Who is the intended audience? Who is the information meant for? Who is their target audience? This A here also stands for authority. That's the source of the information. Who is the author, publisher, or the sponsor? Who is that person? What are the author's credentials or organizational affiliations? Is the author qualified to write on that topic? You need to know all that. And then this A stands for accuracy. That's the reliability, truthfulness, and correctness of the content. Where does the information come from? Has the person supported his argument with evidence? Has the information been reviewed or referenced? Does the language or tone seem unbiased and free of emotion? And then you also need to find out the purpose of the information. What is the purpose of the information? Is it to inform, to teach, or to sell, or entertain, or persuade? Does the point of view appear objective or impartial? Are there political, religious, or institutional or personal biases. You need to know all this in order to be sure that the information you are taking from that particular publisher is credible enough to support your argument. So, how do we spot fake news? For instance, on WhatsApp, we have been circulating and circulating links. They will forward and forward and forward until the message gets tagged as forwarded many times. Now, how do we spot that the information being shared around is fake? First, you need to consider the source. Click away from the story to investigate the site. Find out its mission and its contact info. You need to know they are real humans. You need to also read beyond, because some headlines can be outrageously deceptive, and most of the times bloggers use misleading headlines in order to get us to click and read the information they have posted on their website for them to make money. So you need to be sure that the headline that comes with the information matches with what actually is contained in the story. For instance, some time back, somebody posted a link on one of our platforms, say indicating that NTC has suspended CPD activities. But when you click on the link and go to read the story, it was about one service provider that was suspended. But the headline seemed to portray that NTC has suspended all its service providers, and therefore anyone organizing workshops were fake and illegal. But that wasn't how the story described what they actually meant. Because when you click away from the link, from the headline and go to the site, what is there is completely different from what the headline seems to portray. So you always need to read beyond in order to be sure that the story is true or fake. Also, you need to check the author, find out who the author is. Do a quick search on the author. Are they credible? Are they real? You need to know all that. Also, are there supporting sources? Click on those links. Determine if the info given actually supports the story that I just finished explaining. So you need to click on the link and find out if the information given it actually supports the headline that they have used, or what some of us refer to as the caption. And then you also need to check the date, because people have been reposting messages here and there. They'll post a message far back from 2020, then they will still be forwarding without checking how accurate it is. Because when the time of the message passes, it becomes irrelevant. If a message is supposed to be consumed in 2022, it will benefit us if we get it in 2022, and then 2023 September you are now sharing that message with me. Is it relevant at all? No, it's no longer relevant. So you need to check the date of that story before you consume it. So these are the most important things you need to be able to identify fake news. And if you are not sure of all these things, you can ask the experts like librarians, and or you can consult a fact checking site like sstrust.com. I will share the link with you as part of the course notes. Now, this takes us to URL and URL safety. Now, what is a URL? A URL is an acronym which stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It is an address or a locator that points to a specific website. Just like what I showed you the URL to Foundation for Global Life Changes website. That is what a URL, and it is displayed here as well. For instance, when someone wants to send you a package for Christmas, they have to provide an address, right? They have to provide an address so the post office knows where exactly to send the Christmas box to. The URL is the address that a website browser needs to locate the specific page being sought by the user. The URL is found on the top bar of a web browser called the address bar, which I already showed you. So using the comparison of physical postal addresses to URLs is a great way to visually understand a process and concept that cannot be seen by the human eye. Just like a physical address has several parts, a URL also has several parts, especially depending on what type of web page and what part of a website is being accessed. A URL is in a category called URIs that stand for Universal Resource Identifiers, which points a computer to the location of a resource on the network. The key portion of a URL address is the domain name. The domain name is the location or the server where the website is being hosted. You see, all those adverts or commercials that show you how easy it is to create a website are web hosting companies. So if a person uses their hosting service, that is where your website will live. It's easy to identify the domain name because it often begins with a www, which stands for World Wide Web, and ends with a period and a collection of letters. So these are some common domain names. We have the .com, which is mostly used by uh, commercial people. So for commercial, the info you find there are commercials for commercial purposes. You find adverts there, you find business info, shopping, and news. And then we also have .edu, which is for education. So you find school information there. You find links to libraries and departments. And then we have .gov. .gov is for government. So if you have taken notice of all the websites that we've been interacting with that belongs to the government, so you see gov there. For instance, NTC, using NTC as example, you see ntc.gov.gh. You can check it later on when you are visiting NTC website. So you find statistics, public info, facts, and agency databases there. Then we also have .org. Just take a look at Global Life Changes domain. So .gov is used by non-profit organizations, interest group agendas, and they may try to influence public opinion. Then we also have .net. That's for internet service providers, bloggers, and they often sponsor personal sites. Now, this takes us to URL phishing. We've been hearing, hey, don't click on this link. This is the phishing link. So what does it mean? What does a phishing URL mean? Let's take a look. So a phishing URL is a form of fraud attack that is initiated by sending a malicious email to an unsuspecting victim that contains a URL to a fake website, instructing them to visit it. URL phishing can be used for many purposes, from stealing bank account information to installing malware on your device. So, a cyber criminal sends you a legitimate looking email or a message via any communication channel, be it WhatsApp, SMS, Facebook, email, or just any communication channel at all. which then entices you, the recipient, to take action by clicking on a link that redirects you to what seems to be a company's official website. Once you are there, you, the unsuspecting victim, will be required to enter your personal or financial information. The phishers can use public sources of information such as LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter to gather their victims' personal details, work history, interests, and activities. So these resources are often used to uncover information such as names, your job titles, your email addresses, and then once they have that, the attacker can then use this information gathered to craft a believable phishing email. So typically, a victim receives a message that appears to have been sent by a known contact or organization. The attack is then carried out either when the victim clicks on a malicious file attachment or clicks on a hyperlink connecting them to a malicious website. In either case, the attacker's objective is to install malware on the user's device or direct them to a fake website. Fake websites are set up to trick victims into divulging personal and financial information such as your passwords, your account IDs, or your credit card details. So this is a simple illustration of how the hackers work. So look at this. This is the hacker sitting down here. So the first step, he sends you a phishing email to you, the target. Look at you here, assuming that this is you sitting here with your computer. So the attacker sends you a phishing email. Then you click on the phishing link and visit a fake website. Take a look at these two websites. This one is fake and this is the original one. But look at how they have imitated the original one to become this. Look at it. The only difference you can see is just the colors. Other than that, everything looks the same. So once you visit the fake website, the hacker collects important credentials, which I've already mentioned, such as your account IDs, your credit card details, your financial information, or whatever. And then they use your credentials to access your private information. So once they get the information, they can use it to hack you. They can go into your bank account because they have gotten the details already. They can go into the and transfer your money into their own account because they have deceived you into believing that a legitimate uh, organization which you interact with has asked you to do this or that. And you have complied and you did it. So now they have got you. So that is how the hackers work. I hope you understand it. Good. So let's take note. So then, how do we recognize a phishing email? How? How? Successful phishing messages are difficult, and I might say they are very, very difficult to distinguish from real messages. So usually they are represented as being from a well-known company, even including corporate logos and other identifying data. However, there are several clues that can indicate that a message is phishing. These include one, the message uses subdomains, misspelled or suspicious URL. Two, the recipient uses a Gmail or other public email addresses rather than a corporate email address. So me, for instance, if I want to send you any message, there's no way I will use my personal email to send you the message. because the message I'm sending to you does not come from me as a person, Hermat. No, the message comes from Foundation for Global Life Changes. So the moment you see the message, there should be something that identifies that message as from Foundation for Global Life Changes and not from me. And that should be the email address that the message is coming from. But hackers usually use their personal Gmail account or public addresses instead of corporate email. So those of you that have already participated in several of our courses and we have sent you materials via emails, you can refer to it and see. They aren't from any of us using our personal email or whatever to do that. You will see that it's from Foundation for Global Life Changes, and the email, our corporate email is info@globallifechanges.org. So please take note. Thirdly, the message is written to invoke fear or a sense of urgency. And then number four, the message includes a request to verify personal information such as financial details or a password. And then lastly, the message is poorly written and has spelling or grammatical errors. Now let's take a look at this phishing email that was sent to me. I took a screenshot from my email, so it looks a bit blurry and you may not be able to read it. But let me explain to you. As part of my introduction by the executive director, he said I am a freelance website designer. So the website for Foundation for Global Life Changes was actually designed by me, and I am the administrator of that website. So whatever thing that needs to be done in order for the website to keep going, I get that information from our web hosting uh, company. So it was getting to time for our website to be the subscription to be renewed. You see, when you have a website, it has to be renewed. It can be yearly, your subscription can be yearly, or you can renew multiple of years. But there shall come a time where that subscription will be due for renewal. So it was time for us to renew our website. And you see, the Fisher collected information about the website of an Foundation for Global Life Changes. And they knew the time that our subscription will expire. So look at the date. They contacted me in December 6, 2022. And then they told me that we need to make payment to renew our domain name. Other than that, it will be disconnected when it expires because they told me that it will be disconnected in 24 hours if I do not make the subscription payment. And as I indicated, the phishing messages always include a link to verify information. So you can zoom it and take a look at this part, the part that looks yellow. They say verify now. So that is a link. If I click on it, it will take me to a page where I will need to enter personal information like bank account details or whatever, which they can use to hack or dupe us. So I know who I deal with in terms of our website renewal or subscription or hosting. And I do not know you. Just look at the name 20i Limited. I mean, what is this? So I just ignored it. I didn't say anything. And then on December 23rd, 2023, they sent me a message that thank you for choosing 20i.com. We are writing to inform you that your domain name has been suspended. And they included the amount. And then they told me that to reactivate it, simply go to our site and use the renewal command. Please follow instructions in the link below. So if you zoom it and look at this part, they said you can manage your payment methods from within your My20i account. So payment method, there's an embedded link there. So if I click on it, it will open and take me to a page where I will need to enter some personal information. And if you look at this part, that's control panel. That too, that's an embedded link. So if I click on it, they will all take me to pages where I'll need to enter personal information, which can be used against me and the organization. So you always have to be wary of the kind of links that you click on. Also, if you are not expecting a message from someone and the person sends it to you, you have never interacted with that person before, don't mind the person. Do not click on any hyperlink embedded there for you to click on, especially requesting that you should enter your personal information. Please, let's stay cautious. However, not all URLs are created equal. Malicious URLs are lurking in emails, as I just said, text messages, social media posts, popping up pop-up windows, and many more. Scammers create and distribute these links and try to trick users like you into clicking them. And once you get to their site, you can be exposed to malicious software, viruses, and other dangerous content. Dangerous links lead you to dangerous sites and put your data, your computer, and your network in harm's way. And though it can be difficult to distinguish a safe URL from a malicious one, there are some warning signs you can watch out for. So please keep these 5 points in mind when you come across an unknown URL. The first point, it's a bit complex to understand if you do not have basic knowledge of coding, but let's try to understand a bit of it. So the end of the domain is the most important part to check. The domain portion of a URL is what gives you insight into the source of a link. The domain can be found right after the HTTP colon two forward slash. So just take a look at this. This is the domain google.com. This is a subdomain. So https colon forward slash google.com. So this link will take you to Google Maps. It will take you to google.com maps. That is where it will lead you to. Now, just take a look at this other URL. This is a phishing URL. Just take a look at it. At a glance, you would think that this comes from Google because you have seen google.com there. But that is not the case. That is not the case at all. Please take a look at the two. So you see, scammers can doctor domain names, make them seem like something that they are not. So we need to be very, very careful. So in this case, here we said this one is google.com and that is the domain. Now look at this one, the same thing, http colon forward slash google.com dot cast dash login dot ie. So this is a phishing URL in disguise. They have disguised it as if it is coming from Google because the moment you see google.com, you will think that it is from Google and then you jump onto it. Google, it's from Google, it's from Google, it's safe. Then there you go. Then there they have you. You enter your information and they use it against you. So looking at these two examples, you can see why a user might think they are linking to a Google site as opposed to a malicious site. That is why it is important to check the space between the HTTP colon forward slash and then the first forward slash, which is this one. That's after here. Check this one and watch out for things that do not belong. So you seeing google.com does not mean that the information comes from Google. No, you can be misled. So though it's a bit complex to understand, but let's take note. The second one is that hyphens and symbols are common in malicious links. For example, legitimate websites don't often have hyphens or symbols in their domain names, as with the examples noted in point 1. Let's look at this. www.google.com is not the same as www.google-search.com. They are not the same at all. So the moment you see this, think twice before you click on it. And then beware of domains that are entirely numbers. I mean, how can you identify someone whose name is written in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4? Come on, how will you identify that person at all? Sometimes you will come across a domain that is shown just as an IP address in numbers, just like this one. And with this, you have no way of knowing the real owner of the domain. So you should not click on this type of URL unless you are familiar with the IP address and you know exactly where the link will take you to. Other than that, please be careful when you see any link which looks like this one. Please be very, very careful before you click on it and then sell yourself out to hackers. Number 4, shortened URLs are URLs in disguise with a word limit or character limit on certain social media platforms. It's common to see shortened URLs there, but they are also found in text messages, emails, and other media, such as tiny URL. So tiny URL and bit.ly, they take longer URLs and tie them into a URL with fewer characters. While this service is convenient, the reality is that a shortened URL is a mask for another link. So be careful with this because I can take, for instance, if my website, let's say Global Life Changes, you see the courses we've been posting, the link that we asked you to click to register is a bit long. It's a bit long, but that link, I can take it to tinyurl.com and I can shorten it and just make it FGLC course. That's all. I can shorten it. So when you see it, so the hackers, they can use that platform like tinyurl.com or bit.ly. They can use them in order to manipulate you into clicking on something that is not legitimate and something that is risky and can affect you. So let's all be careful. And then the fifth one is that scammers can mask dangerous links with legitimate looking links. You see, scammers can embed dangerous URLs, just as I showed you in the phishing email that was sent to me. I showed you some places where they have embedded URLs. So they can embed dangerous URLs inside of legitimate looking links, text, logos, and images. But you can see what's hidden by mousing over these links. So as you hover, compare the URL that appears on your screen to the URL that is visible to you. If there is a significant difference or you see some of the warning signs in the hidden URL, just avoid that link or email or website or advert or whatever it contains. Just avoid it. Avoid it. So the bottom line is think before you click. Please think before you click on any link. You see, due diligence is the name of the game with URL safety. It's about checking things you see and verifying what you do not see. and it's about clicking smart. So if you don't click smart, you sell yourself to the hackers and they will deal with you. So let's be careful. So if you are not familiar with a URL or you receive it in a message you were not expecting, please just do not click it. When you are unsure, the best option is to use a search engine to find a legitimate or reliable link. Simple and short. As you have taken this course, you see something that you are not sure of. Just make use of your browser, your web browser, and your search engine. You can find it on the internet to make use of. Also, have you noticed that every URL either starts with HTTP or HTTPS? Just take a look at these two, HTTPS, google.com here, and come and take a look at this one, HTTP. Have you ever wondered why it is so? Well, HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it does not encrypt or secure your data during client to server communication, which means that any data transmitted over HTTP is sent in plain text without any encryption or security mechanisms. As a result, it can be intercepted and read by anyone with access to the network traffic, including cyber criminals. Now, HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It is a protocol that secures communication and data transfer between a user's web browser and a website. HTTPS is the secure version of HTTP. The protocol protects users against eavesdroppers and man in the middle. So let's take a look at this diagram. This is HTTP. So websites that start with HTTP, you have to be careful when dealing with them because whatever information you share there, somebody can be sitting somewhere and looking at it. Somebody can be sitting somewhere and eavesdropping your communication. They can steal the information you share via that website, and they can make forgery messages out of it. Just look at it. So website URLs that start with HTTP, you do not see a padlock beside the URL. You don't see it. So look at it. It is opened. It's open. So anybody at all who has access to the website server, they can read and steal or eavesdrop whatever you are sharing with them. So you need to take notice of this and be careful. Now, those that are secured, the HTTPS, they are secured with secured socket layer. So look here, there is a padlock here. So whatever information you share there, it cannot be accessed by any eavesdropper, hacker, or fraudster. It is safe and secure and it is locked here. So message forgery, no, it cannot take place. Data theft, it can't happen at all. No, no, no. And then eavesdropping, it cannot take place as well. So you need to take note of every website that you visit. Always look at the top of the home page, the address bar. Right before the URL, you will see this padlock there. For websites that are secured, you will see the padlock there. For instance, when you are visiting our website, just take a look at the URL. You see the padlock there, meaning that whatever information you share there, nobody can access it. No one can have access to it to use it against you. Now, this brings us to the second digital literacy skills one needs to have, which is the creating skills. The creating skills include knowing how to transfer ideas to the internet, such as how to create and upload a video to YouTube. Good. So with that, available are some Google products and services that can help you create content easily to enable you have an easy life and make your work simpler. There is Google Docs, an online word processor that lets you create, format documents, share and work with other people. It is also included as part of the Google free web-based Google Docs edited suite offered by Google. It has become an indispensable tool for many businesses, educational institutions, and individuals who require the ability to collaborate and access documents from anywhere in the world. So how do we create a Google document? Now, you can download Google Docs from Play Store. Those that were part of last week's session, I shared with you some links that you can use to download these applications from Google Play Store. I just hope that you have downloaded and you've been practicing how to use them. So on your Android phone, that's if you're using an Android phone to access it, you need to download it. But for a laptop, you don't need to download it. Once you have access to the Google Chrome browser, they are there for you. You don't need to download. So on your Android phone or tablet, just open the Google Docs app and then in the bottom right, tap Create and then choose whether to use a template or create a new file. The app will open a new file for you. Now, its advantages are numerous, but the few listed here are what are very, very necessary for us today. Now, Google Docs is free to use, and I'll say that one of the biggest advantages of using Google Docs is that it is free. You don't need to pay in order to be able to use Google Docs. No, it's free of charge. And then it is easy to use. Very simple. Also, it enables easy sharing and collaboration. So I can stay in my room, create a Google Doc and share with all of you. You will all stay in your respective homes and then we can all collaborate and work on whatever task that we need to carry out. That is how advantageous it is to use Google Docs. And then it is connected with Google Drive and it tracks every changes you make easily and automatically. The difference between Google Docs and Microsoft Word is that Microsoft Word is better for editing, formatting, and markup. However, Google Docs is better for online editing, collaboration, and remote work. So with Google Doc, it being free, we can use it to collaborate. I can stay in my room, as I said, and create a document and share with all of you. We can all edit it at the same time. And whatever um, editing or input I make or you make, we can all see it. And then we move on. We don't need to be sharing it back and forth after changing every single time. You need to share again for the other person to be able to have it. No, Google Doc is not like that. Now let's move to Google Drive. So Google Drive is also a free service from Google that allows you to store files securely and open or edit them from any device. Google Drive gives you the power to upload and save a range of file types, documents, photos, audios, and videos to Google servers. It is an immensely popular cloud storage service and one of the most generous free tools on the market. It's powerful and easy to use. And its primary function is to take some load off your hard drive. So how do we use Google Drive? Just download the app from Play Store, open it on your phone, upload or create files. Simple as that. And then you can also share or organize the files that you create. Here are its advantages. It's easy file access and storage, collaboration and sharing features, automatic backup and sensing, and then integration with other Google services. So if you create a Google Doc or Google Sheet, you'll find it the moment you open your drive, they will all be there for you to access them. And then it also gives you accessibility across devices. And then seamless collaboration with docs, sheets, and slides, as I've already mentioned. Now, Google Sheets. Google Sheets lets you create and edit spreadsheets directly in your web browser. You do not need any special software to be able to do that. Multiple people can work simultaneously. You can see people's changes as they make them, and every change is automatically saved. You see, Google Sheets is a powerful and co-efficient tool for managing data. It offers users the ability to quickly organize, analyze, and collaborate on their data in an intuitive way. Its automation capabilities can reduce errors and save time, while its security features keep your information safe. And also note that Google Sheets supports more than 400 spreadsheet functions that can be used to create formulas that manipulate data and calculate numbers. So how do we use Google Sheets? Step one, download it from Google Play Store. I hope you did it when I requested you to do so. And then you can open it on your phone. Then you tap, just with just one click, you create a file, then you can start editing it right away. After that, you can share the file with anyone and work with them. So that is how easy it is to use Google Sheets. Now, it also has some advantages, which is create and edit spreadsheets directly in your web browser. Also, multiple people can work together, and then you can see people's changes as they make them. Also, it gives you accessibility across devices. Now, Google Sheets versus Excel. Google Sheets data is saved in cloud storage. You will never lose any data at all. However, if you are working in Excel and forgot to save the file, you can lose the data. Hence, Google Sheets are better choice for databases. So that is that for Google Sheets too. Next is Google Calendar. Now, what is a calendar or Google Calendar? Well, Google Calendar is a time management and scheduling tool created by Google. It allows you to make appointments, organize your daily tasks, and more. The time management tool works best for people who need to simplify and plan their busy schedules. With Google Calendar, you can quickly schedule meetings and events and get reminders about upcoming meetings. Here are its advantages. You can access it from anywhere, anytime. You can set up reminders. It also has the ability to combine multiple calendars just as it is shown here. And also, scheduling is made simple. You see, free online calendars are useful tools that you can use anywhere via any smart devices to stay organized and punctual. Not only do they help people track upcoming events and responsibilities, but they also contain other features such as notifications, reminders, sharing options, and event organization. So just take a look at this sample calendar here. There are a lot of schedules here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of this, when it's getting to the start time for these schedules, the calendar will remind you. And obviously, most of us, excuse me to say, our phones are more special to us than our husbands and wives. I mean, we carry them everywhere, even to the washroom. Some of us carry our phones into the washroom. So If you are using a digital calendar, there is no way any of your schedules will be missed and you forget it. There's no way at all because we carry our phones everywhere and the phones will remind us that we need to do this and that at this time. Now, let's move to Google Forms. You see, before being here today, before registering for this call, you filled a form, okay? After filling the payment form, if you were patient enough, excuse me to say, to wait for some seconds, you would have seen that a form pops up on your phone for you to fill after your registration was successful. That form is a Google form. And we at Global Life Changes, we have used Google Forms several times to collect information for administrative purposes. Google Forms is a survey administration software which is also included as part of the free web-based Google Docs editor suite offered by Google. With Google Forms, you can manage event registrations, you can create a quick opinion poll, create quizzes, and much more right in your mobile or web browser. No special software is required to do that, and you get instant results as they come in. And you can also summarize results at a glance with charts and graphs. So let's take a look at this chart. So this is how the Google Forms results looks like in chat. So every question, the answers participants gives to every question are summarized in a chart form. And with a glance, you'll be able to see which question or which answer is leading. So this is how it is. And here, the question was that which of the following statements do you currently live by most? And then 66% of the people who filled the form indicated that creating my own path in life and following my dreams. So that is what they live by. And just at a glance, you will be able to know which one is leading and which one to work with. Great. So since we have many teachers among us, let's also talk a little bit about Google Classrooms because we do not know when we will need it. For instance, we did not know that COVID-19 was going to come, where schools would have to be locked down for us to be staying home, where we didn't know what to do, how to interact with our students. So we do not pray for it to happen again in the future, but I mean, we need to equip ourselves with tools that we can use to facilitate our lives in times like such. So, Google Classroom is a learning management system offered by Google for teachers. You can use Classroom in your school to streamline assignments, boost collaboration, and foster communication. Classroom is available on the web or by mobile app. You can use Classroom with many tools that you already use, such as Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Calendar. So, how do we use Classroom? That too, you need to download from the Google Play Store, and it was part of the links that I provided to you last Sunday. So, once you get it on your phone, you just click on the app to open it. Sign into a classroom, then you choose an option to create a class, join a class as a co-teacher, accept a provision class, or just do whatever you want to do. It is very simple to use. If you have downloaded it and practiced as I requested you to do, I'm sure by now you should be able to use it very well. You can invite your students. Of course, you aren't going to have the class alone, so you need to invite your students. And here are some benefits of using Google Classroom. So, classrooms provide exposure to grow. It facilitates the exposure of students with an online learning system. You see, most university programs now require students to enroll and attend classes that are happening online. So exposure to Google Classroom helps the students transition to different learning management systems used in higher education. And then also being paperless reduces the hassle. I mean, we don't need to carry papers everywhere we go. And so classroom is completely paperless. So teachers and students won't have to shuffle a lot of papers. Teachers upload assignments and assessments to Classroom at the same time as they upload them to Drive. And students can use Classroom to complete assignments and assessments, and their work is saved to Drive. They are also able to access work that has been missed due to absences and find other resources that they may require. And then it also saves a lot of time. Classrooms can help you save a lot of time because teachers have more time to complete other tasks now that all of their resources are in one place and they can access Classroom from literally anywhere with the internet. It also facilitates communication for better understanding. You see, communication with students and parents is a breeze thanks to the built-in tools. Communication between teachers and students can take place through emails. Teachers can send private comments on assignments and provide feedback on the work of students. Teachers have complete control over the comments in posts made by their students. They can also communicate with parents via individual emails or classroom email summaries, which contain information such as class announcements and due dates. It also enables collaboration to keep the environment alive. Students can collaborate in a variety of ways in the classroom. Within the classroom, teachers can facilitate online discussions between students and create group projects. Also, it also provides engagement that makes you feel inclusive. You see, most digital natives are familiar with technology and will be more likely to use it to take control of their learning. There are several strategies to make learning dynamic and collaborative in classroom. Teachers can differentiate assignments, include videos and online sites into courses, and also create collaborative group assignments with them. So let's all make use of it whenever necessary. So now the third skill one need to have regarding digital literacy is the communicating skills, which includes how to utilize email or WhatsApp and other communication tools. But most importantly, it should be how to utilize emails. So when communicating in virtual environments, the ability to clearly express your ideas, ask relevant questions, maintain respect, and build trust is just as important as when communicating in person. Many people choose email over chat due to the conversation history aspect and over phone because of the possibility to reply at their own convenience. I prefer to use email for important messages since it creates a receipt of the conversation, making it easier to recall details. For instance, when I send the participation certificate to you via email, and then I give the opportunity to participants to contact me again to make corrections in their names because some of them I pick the name from the payment form that you fill. Some people do not arrange their names well, and you see when you miss the arrangement of the name, legally it becomes a different person altogether. So I give the opportunity to participants to contact me in order to arrange their names as officially or legitimate as they want it and how it has always been on their official document. So some of you, I'll do that and then send it to you on WhatsApp. But they will request that, please, can you send it to my email? I perfectly agree to that because when it is sent to the email, it will remain safe there. Whenever you need it, you just go there and you find it to print or use the digital one. So using email for communication is very important because the message will be saved there. Whenever you need it, you can find it to make reference to it. So, what are the advantages of using email? You see, sending email is free and it's easy to use. It also allows us to send attachments, send to multiple people. Last week, I told you that those of you that participated in portfolio development and I had to send you the course resource, I did not send it individually. I just, with just one button, I sent to all of you. So that is how it is. Email saves time. You can send to multiple people at a time. And also, the messages can be encrypted. I mean, you can secure the messages you send via email. And then you can use email for all your communication, including the informal one, which includes your friends, relatives, family members. And then the semi-formal, which includes teammates, classmates, and colleagues. And then the formal, which includes all your professional communication. How do we keep our professional documents safe and easily accessible? Well, to keep your files safe, it is necessary to digitize all documents that are important to you so that an electronic record of all those files will be in existence, which you can access anytime. So then how do we digitize our documents? Now, when you go to Play Store, you just type Fast Scanner. I will share the link with you later on. But you can digitize your documents by simply using this mobile app called Fast Scanner. Gone are the days where we used to carry our document to the internet cafe to pay money for them to be scanned. Now, that time has passed. Permit me to say majority of us use smart devices now, which is why we are able to participate in this online course, of course. So if you have been able to participate in this online course, you should be able to use that smart device that you are using to participate in this course to scan your documents instead of going to the internet cafe to pay money for that to be done for you. Let me share this example. Last week, I needed my younger sister's birth certificate, which she left it at our mother's place. And what the purpose that we needed it to be used for, I requested that they take a soft copy of the birth certificate and send to us. So the birth certificate was scanned. I requested my younger brother to take it to what's the name, because he doesn't know how to scan it with the phone. So I asked him to take it to the cafe to be scanned. Now, can you imagine that when he took it to the cafe, they used their phone instead of using the scanner machine to do it. They used their phone to scan it for him. And when you do that, someone who is digitally savvy like me, I will know that this thing was scanned with a phone. I'll be able to differentiate a file that has been scanned using a scanner app on a phone. I'll be able to differentiate it from those that have been scanned using the scanner machine. So I went to the cafe and they used their phone to scan it. And I said, what? Have you realized that this file they use their phone to scan it? And he said that, how did you know? And I said, I know because I know. So I asked you to do this. Go and do that. So he took it to the what's the name, the cafe. They used their phone to scan it for him and actually took money for it. So I asked him to go back. I don't want the one that they scan with a phone. Since you have paid for it, let them use the machine to scan it because I can teach you how to scan it on your phone and you chose to go and let them use you chose to stand there for them to use their phone to do it for. That is not what I want. So we can all download this app and use it to scan whatever documents that we need. The reason I asked that they use the machine is because what I needed the form to do, I need the original copy. So I thought that using that machine, uh, it wouldn't be necessary to bring the original copy, but I was wrong. Though they made use of the soft one that I provided, they still requested that we make available the original copy, which we had to let them send it to us here. So with our certificate and our document, you can use this app to scan it. Sometimes we are going for interviews or you go somewhere, they are asking for your professional document and you say, oops, I forgot about it. It's at home. I didn't know that it will be needed here. I mean, you can have copies of it on your phone. Before the original copy will be requested for, the soft copy can be there for you to make use of at the appropriate time while you get the original document. So it is very, very important for all of us to have this app on our phone. So once you get the app, you need to download that too from Google Play Store. You just open it. Scanning is just like taking a picture. Okay, you put a document at a place where, I mean, it is clear enough for you to snap it. Snap a picture just like you've been doing. You take selfies and the like. So if you have taken a picture, this is your certificate. You took a picture, you put it on your bed and snap it, and it has captured your bed sheet. So the application gives you the opportunity to take out the bed sheet and leave the document alone. So once you crop it, you title it. So let's say this is my birth certificate. So I say birth certificate Hemat. Then I save it. You can create folders with this app. So let's say school certificates. You can create a folder on the app where you will scan all your school certificate. Let's say JHS certificate, WASI certificate, university, say you have diploma, degree, or whatever. You can scan all that and then you group it at so one first we place will in a start with folder. Google Drive. So that is how it is to have this app. We have gotten to live demonstration. Okay, so this is how Google Drive looks. With Google Drive, all the files that you create, you can find it there. It is your one-stop shop for all your files or documents, be it Google Sheet, Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Classroom, or whatever file, you can find it there. So, and you can also create those files, be it Google Forms, Google Sheets, or Docs. You can create it from right inside the Google Drive. So when you want to create a file, you just come here, click on New. So here they are. We have Google Docs here, Google Sheets, Slides, which I'm using, Google Forms, and many more. So now let's start with Google Docs. So you can use Google Docs to write your letters, your notes, or any other thing that you have been using Microsoft Word with. However, Google Docs will enable your collaboration with your team members. So you can be anywhere with your team members being anywhere in the world and you can all collaborate and work together with Google Docs. So you can write the title here. Once you create a new file, it's an untitled document. So you highlight this part and type the title for the document, whether it is a letter, whether it is your notes, let's say digital literacy course notes, you type it there. Now you can come here and then you start typing whatever you want. Because I created it from Google Docs, You did not see the part where the templates are there for you to select. So it gives you the opportunity for you to select from several templates that are available so that you can just edit them and there you go. So you use this button to bolding the text. Let's say my name is Hermat. So if I highlight it and click on this, it will be boldened. Now you select your fonts here, be it Arial, Roboto, Calibro, Lato, or any other font type that you want to use. Then you can increase the font size here. So let's increase the font size. This text is Arial, so you increase it by either clicking on the plus sign or you click in this box and then you select whichever one you want. So that is it. You can also slant the text. Now look at it. Good. And you can underline it. You can change the text color here. And you can also highlight it. Good, you see. And you can also embed a link here by using this. And then you can also, if you are collaborating with your team members, they can comment on the document by using this icon. So that is how it is. I will move on now. If you have a question, you can ask later on. If you want um, to add another document, you can come here. You add a new one from here, or you can make a copy of this. After you have written your letter or whatever, you can share it with people. Any person that you want to share it with, you can do so. You can also make it available offline so that even if you don't have data, you can use the document. You can write whatever you want to write down. The moment you get data, it will update by itself. So when you are using the offline mode, whatever you write, only you will see it. But the moment you get data on your phone and you turn on your cellular data, it will update for all your other team members to see it. So that is how Google Docs works. So I'll move on to the next. Now let me use a new tab so that you'll be able to see the templates. So I come here. Here are the Google products. What I want is Google Form. So I scroll down. Here is it. Good. So there are several templates here that you can use. So if it's a party invite, you can use this one, RSV, course evaluation, worksheet, contact information, or you can start a fresh new one by clicking the plus sign here. Now you title it, let's say DL course registration, digital literacy course registration. Good. And then you can add your description here. In order to save time, I wouldn't be writing much. So you can add your description here. You can let the people who will be using the form know whatever this form is meant for and what you need from them. You can put it here in the description. You use this button to title the form. But if you forget to use it and you write in this portion, the moment you click here, it will automatically pick whatever you have written here as the title of the form. Now, let's add questions or sections. Good. So what do you want to ask? Here, first thing I want from you is your name. Is it a short answer that I want from you? Yes, I want a short answer. If it's a paragraph you want to, you click paragraph. If you want to provide multiple choices because you already know the people's name too, you do so. But I will not advise you to use multiple choice for this section. No, you don't know the names of the people that will be filling it for, so you don't have to use that. the name should always go with this short answer. I mean, our names aren't sentences or paragraphs, so it should always go with this short answer. Then you are done. To make it impossible for anyone to skip this session, you click on this button, required. So without the person entering their name, they cannot move further. They cannot submit the form to you. So you make it compulsory for them by using this button. It is already on, so as I've clicked on it, I've turned it off. And as it is turned off, anybody can jump this question. They can skip it and they can submit it to me without indicating their names. So now let me turn it on again. And once you do not fill this part or you skip it, there is no way you can submit your response to me. So let's go to the next. Good. So you've seen how I'm moving it, right? So if you want to add another section in order to ask another question, that is how it should go. You should click on the plus sign. Good. So this particular session, I'm going to ask a question that would demand a multiple choice for you to choose from. So what should the question be? Which part, let me say your region. Your region. You indicate your region. Good. So now I'm going to use, I can either use multiple choice or check boxes. So let me use check boxes. Option one, let's say Ashanti region, and then you can add them in that order. Let's say Volta. So that is how it is. You can add the options in that order. So once your participants open the form and they come to this section, what they will only have to do is to click on the check box. So if they click on it, let's say the person is from Ashanti region, you just have to click on this box and then the answer they have chosen will be selected. They don't need to type anything into this section. So that is how it is. You can also have, you can add a drop down instead of the checked boxes. So with the drop down, it will look, let me just add another one or change this one. Good. So with the drop down, you will have to add the answers again, but the answers will not be visible. They will have to click on it. And then once they click on it, it will display the answers for them to pick. So that is how it works. I hope this would be enough for you. You can make a copy of a form that you have made previously. So if I save this form and another time I want to design another form, I can just come here and make a copy and then I will just edit the information and there I go. I don't need to make to start from scratch to design a new form. You can also delete it by moving it to trash and you can get a pre-filled link to share. Also, you can add people so that you can collaborate. So right now I can add say James so that we can collaborate. And once I add you, you can change whatever I have done. We can both edit it. In my absence, you can do whatever that is required to be done. Let's say you need to share the form with participants or edit something with it, but Hemat is not reachable. So the next person in question is the one that I have shared the form with to collaborate. So that person can do whatever that I, the creator, the person who created the form, can do. That person can also do the same thing. So that is how it works. And then with this form, you can decide to accept responses or you can choose not to accept responses. So let's say I have given you a minimum of 24 hours for you all to respond to this form. After 24 hours, I can close this. You will have the link all right, but when you click on it, it will tell you that this form is no longer accepting responses. So when you open it, this is how the interface is. So here are the questions, the responses. And once people respond to it, you'll find it here. This is where you can find the charts, which are already displayed to you. Good. So if you want to accept responses, you click here. It is already accepting responses. So you can close it. So now you see it's no longer accepting responses. So if anybody who has the form but has refused to comply with your instruction opens the link at the wrong time, it will tell them that this form is no longer accepting responses. So they either contact the person who created it or they forgo whatever they are expected to do. You can also link this form to a Google Sheet. So whatever responses that comes here, you will find it on the Google Sheet to make good use of just by clicking on this. So if I click on it, this is it. There will be a spreadsheet created. Good. So a spreadsheet has been linked to this document. And once anybody fill the document, the information will go onto that spreadsheet. Now let's come to the settings. You can make this form a quiz. So those of us who have attended our face-to-face trainings, we usually conduct assessments. So this is what we use to prepare that assessment for you. Good. So if I want to make it a quiz, I click on this button and then it will become a quiz for you. This is very easy to use. So I'm sure when you open it with the little explanation I've given, you'll be able to use it on your own. So the next is Google Sheets. So since we have already created a sheet, we have linked a Google Sheet to our Google form. Let's go there right away. So the questions that we created on the Google form, they are here on the Google Sheet that we linked to it. So timestamp refers to the time of the day that the person submitted the form. It will be displayed here. And the questions that we asked on the form, we asked for their name. So the names will come here. The region here. This part, we did not title it. So whatever is supposed to be there, it will also come here. And because we made it a quiz, once the person finishes the quiz, their score will come here. So at a glance, you will see what Hermat scored. You will see what Mr. Ziecher scored. And then you will see what Madam Faustina Atukia scored and Mr. Rahim Salifu and many others. You will see your scores here. Good. So let me fetch some data so that we can get moving. Now you can also add more sheets by clicking on the plus sign at the bottom here. You see, just now I've added 2 sheets and you can title the sheet. This one already has a title, DL course. So let me put it there, rename. So DL course, DL course. And this one, let me just leave it as it is since I've already shown you how to rename it. So let me go get some data so that we can work on it. So basically the Google Sheet contains columns and rows. The columns are lettered A, B, C, D to Z, and then the rows in numbers 1, 2, 3 to infinity. The title, let me title this column as name. So I've already fetched some data. Let me paste it here. Now we can make the column large in order for the names to fit in perfectly. So let me say we are taking contribution, so amount. So now these are the names.
Thank you.
Then, like I said, maybe we are doing a contribution, so the amount here. So let's say 50. So let me just run it through. So if you don't want to be typing here and there and we are all contributing the same amount, after typing into the first cell, you just drag it through for all. Good. So you click and hold and then drag, and the same thing will be repeated in all other cells. So let me make it bold since it is the title of the column. So let me select my font, Arial, then I make it bold by clicking B, then I increase it by clicking the plus sign. Good. I do the same thing to this one too. Bold, change font to Arial. Now this time around, let me click and then select what I want. I want 14, size 14. So these are their names and these are the amounts they contributed. Now, I want to count the number of people that paid their contributions. But I don't want to do that manually every time someone pays, then I come and count. So I come here and say summary. I also make that bold. Good. Now I come here. So what do I want to do now? I want to count. So total. Total number of participants. Let me write that here. Or total number of people who paid. Total number of people who have paid. Good. Now let me make the cell large to contain the text. Good. Then I come here, total amount contributed. No, this is not what I want, so I will not accept this suggestion. Total amount contributed. Sorry. Let me just say total amount. Good. So we come here. What do we want to count? In which column is the information that we want to count? It is in column A. Okay. We want to count the items that are in column A. So now we come here. I said earlier that Google Sheets contains more than 400 functions to enable you do some automations. So you can find the functions here. Good. So now let's count. We come here. You can say equal to every formula that you want to use. You start with equal to. That is, if you don't want to go to the functions button to select, you type equal to. Once you start typing the formula to, the suggestion will come for you to take. So in order to count, you use equal to, then you type counter. So let me type counter for you to see. So counter. Good. The moment you type count, it will come. So this is what we want. Counter, that's the number of values in a data set. So you select it, counter. Then you can now come here and highlight the data. Or if you want to count the entire data in column A, you will say A2. You want to start counting from A2. That's henceforth because A1 is name. That is the title of the column. So you can say A2 is to A. Is to here, you use colon. So A2 colon A. I mean colon sign this one. So let me type it. A2 A2 is to A. No, I don't want to count up to 16. I want the entire column. So A2 is to A. So this is what is in column A. Only 15 people have paid. But if it had been more than that, since I said it should count all the content in column A, it would have done that. But now we only have 15 people who have paid. That is why it has given me 15. So look at the formula I used. I said equal to. In order to input any formula, you start with equal to. So you type equal to. We want to count. The formula for counting is counter. Okay, you don't just say count, you say counter. After typing count, you add a to make it ta. So counter, the moment you type count, the suggestions will come for you to select. After that, you say A2. So A2 is where you want to start the counting from. So I want to start counting from column A, row 2, which is Mr. Kingsford Obin. So the counting will start here. Now I want to count the contents in the entire column A. So you say A2 colon A. We those that are already conversant with it, we say A2 is to A. But just for you to know what is to is, the is to represents colon sign. Good. So A2 is to A. It will count whatever is in that column. But if you also want to restrict it to a certain level in the column, let's say I want to count only from, or let's say I want the summary to come here. I can say A2. Good. Now let me come here. Please don't be confused and let me know if you are getting confused. So equal to counter. You see the suggestions, you select counter. Now you come and highlight, or you can type. So you come and highlight A2 is to A16. You see, good. You see we've gotten the same thing. Good. I hope it is clear to you. Now we come to the amount to, we want to sum it up. We want to sum the amount up, the contribution amount up. So now we come. You can either type sum or you come here and select sum. The formula has come for you. Now you come here and highlight. That is if you want to sum up to a specific row, or you want to sum a specific range. You come and highlight up to that range that you want to be summed for you. Now you click enter and then the answer is there. That's the total amount, 750 cedis is what you will get. Now, if you also want to sum up everything that is in column B, now we come here and say, let's go there again, sum. Then we say, like I did the first time in the counting, you say B2. We want to start the addition from B2. Column B, we are using column B. That is where the amounts are recorded. So column B. Row 1 is the title, which we have written as amount. So we will start from row 2. Column B, row 2. This is the row. Good. So we start from here. So we say B2 is to B. So B2. So this is B2. You can see it has already been highlighted. Is to the same colon sign. Don't be confused. Is to B. Good. You see it has highlighted. So you click on enter again. You see we have gotten the same 750. Now, I hope it is clear. Let's say the data is plenty, maybe from 1 to 1,000. Now I want to take out only one person. Let's say Gloria Odru. So now we come here. This is filter. You see it looks like a funnel. You click on it. You see the filter has been applied. Now you come to these 3 lines. Click on it. Come down here. You see all the data in column A has been selected. But that is not what we want. We want just a single person. So you click clear. It has cleared it. So now nothing is selected. You now type on, you key in what you want. So I want Gloria Odru. I'm looking for Gloria Odru. So I type Gloria Odru. Whether caps or small letters, it will come. So Gloria. The moment I type Glo, all the people who have their name starting with GLO will all pop up. So now we only have one person, and there it is. So you click on it and click on OK. So you see only Gloria Odro is now showing. Good. So if you want to look for something among plenty of data, you use the filter on Google Sheets or even on Microsoft Excel, you use the filter button and then you come here, type in the person's name, and then you click OK, and it will bring out only that person for you. So I hope this is clear too. Now, if we want to go back to having all the entire data displayed, now you come here again and click select all, or you can go and remove the filter by clicking on the filter icon. So we click select all, and now everything is back again. So that is how Google Sheets work. You can add color to make your work beautiful. So let me highlight, let me add color to the titles. So as I have clicked on row 1, I have selected all the rows, including all the columns that covers row 1. So I come here, you see this thing, that is the color. So I come and select it. Say I want to make it, I want this color. So good, there it is. If I also want to remove the color, I click there again, row 1. Then I come, I want white, go to white. So you click on this is white. You see it has gone back to how it's used to be. Now I want to put the color up to from column A to column D. So I come and select, click and hold, and then move to column D. And then you go to the color and put it there. There it is, so beautiful. Good. You can also use this to to draw lines. You can use text wrapping. Let's say if this text was to be longer than the size of the column, and I don't want to make it large. I want some to be up and then some will come down. Now let me just make it long so that it can be demonstrated for you to see. So total number of people who have paid for the course, who have paid for the course. You see it is long and you can't see all the text as it used to be. But I don't want to drag it to make it large too. So what I'll do is select it and come here, text wrapping. Then I select wrap. So you see, good. That is how it works. The functions are many. So let me give you the opportunity now, since we are still in the basic stage. There shall come a time where we will launch a course in advanced digital literacy, where I'll be taking you through all those things that I have taken out because I do not want to confuse you. All those things will be handled there. But for now, as beginners, in order not to confuse ourselves, this is what we need to know. Kindly let me know if you have any question, please. So going back to the original slide. So in summary, we have learned that digital literacy is the ability to interact with technology and to understand current digital advancements. We have also learned that digital literacy skills include consuming, creating, and communicating skills. And finally, we have learned to keep our documents safe by digitizing them with Fast Scanner app, which can be found in Google Play Store. We download and install on our phone, use it to scan our documents and upload them onto Google Drive, where we can have access to them anytime, anywhere, when the need arises. Thank you for listening to me.